Let's begin by understanding what we truly are. You are not simply a body made of flesh. You are the divine itself, wearing a human shape. Your imagination is nothing less than the generative force behind all existence, and your awareness is the one true reality there is. Everything you witness in the outer world is simply a mirror held up to your inner condition. Now let's turn to the first of 5 truths you must never share with anyone. The real nature of the conversations you hold within yourself. These silent dialogues are the seeds from which your future grows. They form the raw material of your reality, spun from the thoughts and feelings you privately entertain. When you talk to yourself in the quiet of your mind, you're in direct communion with the divine. You're actively sculpting the world around you according to your hopes and expectations. But this is a power that demands secrecy. Should others discover what's happening in your inner dialogue, they could plant seeds of doubt or fear that would sabotage what you're trying to create. Picture this. You're having a private conversation about earning a promotion. You picture yourself behind the desk in the corner office, feeling the texture of the executive chair, hearing your co-workers offer their congratulations. Replay this scene enough times, with genuine feeling, and it will find its way into your actual life. But tell someone about this process, and their skepticism could drain the strength right out of your imagination. So guard these inner dialogues carefully, friends. Treat them as a private exchange between you and the God that lives within you. Through these conversations, you give shape to your world, pulling your wishes out of imagination and into physical form. The second truth you must keep hidden concerns your power to reshape history itself. Yes, you heard that correctly. The past isn't fixed. It bends like clay under the hands of a master sculptor. And you, as one chosen by the divine, are among the finest sculptors creation has ever produced. When you go back and rewrite the past, you're doing far more than adjusting a memory. You're literally reshaping reality at its core. You're reaching across time to rearrange events so they match what you actually want. This capability is so staggering, so world-altering, that it has to remain concealed from anyone not yet prepared to grasp it. Think of some painful memory, a chance you let slip by, a cruel remark made in a moment of anger, a choice you'd take back if you could. Now shut your eyes and watch that scene unfold differently. Watch yourself choose wisely, speak gently, grab the opportunity without hesitation. Notice the relief and satisfaction that floods in with this new version of events. Keep rehearsing this revised memory, and you'll notice your present life beginning to shift. People will act differently toward you. New opportunities will surface, ones that match your rewritten past. The world will bend itself to fit your updated inner story. But if you let this secret slip, others might respond with fear or flat disbelief. They'll insist the past is unchangeable, and in trying to convince you otherwise, they'll chip away at your confidence in your own power. So hold this ability close, friends. A power to reshape what's already happened. Put it to work constantly, but never let outsiders in on the secret. The third truth you must never disclose is how deeply you actually understand the law of assumption. This law forms the bedrock of all creation. It tells us that by embodying the feeling of a wish already granted, you pull that wish into being. This is the mechanism by which you author your own life and reshape everything around you. But the real depth of this law reaches far beyond what most people can grasp. It isn't simply a technique for manifesting things you want. It's the actual operating system of the universe. Once you fully understand the law of assumption, you see that every part of your existence, every circumstance, every relationship, traces back to what you've assumed. Say you long for a relationship built on love. The law of assumption says you need to embody the feeling of already being in it, right now. Feel the affection, the companionship, the happiness of building a life with someone devoted to you. Hold on to that feeling, and your outer circumstances will start bending to match it. Here's the part you must never speak aloud. This isn't confined to your personal life. Your assumptions ripple outward to shape the whole world. Politics, the economy, even the weather bend under the influence of collective assumption. This power is so enormous that if people fully grasped it, they could be crushed by the weight of it, or twist it towards selfish purposes. So keep your true grasp of the law of assumption private, friends. Use it to build a life overflowing with joy and plenty, but never let anyone see just how far your understanding truly goes. The fourth truth to guard is the true nature of your I am state. This is the most sacred piece of who you are, the divine spark within, the creative force shaping everything you experience. When you say I am, you're calling on the name of God itself, and with it, the full force of creation. Yet the real depth of the I am state goes well beyond affirmations or upbeat self-talk. It is the very substance of your existence, the heart of everything you are. Once you truly grasp your I am state, you understand that you aren't apart from God. You are God, living out an individual human experience. Picture standing in front of a mirror, looking at your own reflection. Whisper to yourself, I am. Feel those two words vibrate through your entire being. In that instant, you're not just describing yourself, you're recognizing your role as the architect of your own existence. Here's the secret you must never reveal. Your I am state isn't limited to you alone. It's the same I am shared by everything in existence. When you speak those words, you speak on behalf of all creation. This truth runs so deep that if others fully absorbed it, they might feel swallowed up by its enormity. So keep the true depth of your I am state private, friends. Draw on it to build a life without limits, but never expose its full power to those who might misuse or misread it. The fifth and final truth you must never share is how far your capacity for the Sabbath state truly extends. This isn't merely a day set aside for rest or religious ritual. It's a state of complete surrender, total confidence that what you desire has already come to pass. Entering the Sabbath state means dropping all effort, all striving, every attempt to force outcomes. You settle into unwavering certainty that your desire is already fulfilled. This state carries so much force that it can rearrange your entire life in a single instant. Think of something you deeply want, maybe wealth, health, or a career that fulfills you. Rather than grinding toward it, step into the Sabbath state instead. Feel the relief, the deep satisfaction, the settled knowledge that it's already yours. In this state, you aren't hoping for something to arrive. You're recognizing it as something already accomplished. Here's the part you can never say out loud. The Sabbath state isn't a passing mood. It's actually your default state of being. Understand this fully, and you'll see that every moment of life is, at its core, Sabbath. Everything is already perfect. Every wish has already been granted. This idea runs so contrary to everything the world teaches about hustle and struggle that if people truly absorbed it, they'd either reject it outright or try to disprove it entirely. So keep your true capacity for the Sabbath state to yourself, friends. Use it to build a life of effortless creation, but never let its full scope be known to those who might distort or abuse it. Now, dear friends, let's look at how these 5 truths weave together and strengthen one another. They aren't separate ideas, they're different angles on the same underlying truth. Together, they unlock your full potential as one chosen by the divine. Return with me to the first truth, your private inner conversations. These aren't just random thoughts drifting through your mind. They're the foundation stones of your entire reality. Every phrase spoken silently in your imagination is a seed dropped into the fertile ground of existence. Just as a single seed carries within it everything a full-grown tree will become, your inner dialogue holds the blueprint for everything you'll eventually experience. This is where the second truth enters, your power over the past. Your inner conversations don't just build your future, They reach backward through time and rework what's already happened. When you replay a memory with a different outcome, you're not just editing your recollection. You're literally rewriting the event at its source. Think of some past disappointment that still lingers, a chance missed, a relationship that fell apart, a goal that slipped away. Now, privately in your mind, replay that moment differently. Feel the triumph, the joy, the satisfaction of a better outcome. Stick with this revised version, and you'll watch your present reality begin to shift. People treating you differently, new opportunities appearing that fit your revised story. The whole world reorganizing itself around your new inner truth. But remember, this must stay secret. If others learn what you're doing with your inner conversations and your power over memory, they might try to interfere, insisting the past is unchangeable, dismissing your inner work as make-believe. And in doing so, they'd sap the strength from your imagination. Now consider how the third truth, your deep grasp of the law of assumption, connects to all this. This law states that embodying the feeling of a wish fulfilled is what brings that wish into being. What most people miss is that this law doesn't only apply to the future, it governs the past and present just as fully. When you rework a memory through inner dialogue, you're stepping into a new assumed state. You're feeling the truth of an alternate past. And through the law of assumption, that alternate past becomes your new manifested reality. This explains why revising the past changes your present. You're not editing memory. You're forging an entirely new timeline that matches your revised history. But this law's reach extends even further. It doesn't stop with your own life. Your assumptions shape everything around you, from the economy to politics to the climate itself. This is exactly why you must keep your true understanding hidden. If others grasped how vast this power really is, they might be overwhelmed by it, or attempt to bend it towards selfish aims. Now let's connect the fourth truth, your I am state, into this framework. It's not just a phrase for positive affirmations. It's the essential core of who you are, the wellspring of your entire existence. When you declare I am, you invoke the very name of the divine and everything that name commands. Your I am state is the origin point of your inner conversations, your ability to reshape the past, and your capacity to assume whatever state you choose. It's the divine presence within you, actively generating your experience of reality. Fully grasping this, you realize you're not separate from God, you're God expressing itself through your particular consciousness. Return once more to that mirror. Look at your reflection and whisper, I am. Feel the words move through you. This isn't simple self-affirmation. It's a recognition of your role as author of your own existence. Here's where the real power surfaces. Your I am isn't confined to just you. It belongs equally to everything in existence. When you speak those words, you speak for all of creation. Because at the deepest level, nothing is actually separate. Everything is one, and that oneness is I am. This truth runs so deep, so all-encompassing, that it must stay hidden from those unprepared for it. If people fully understood the I am state, they might feel swallowed up by its scale, or try to twist it for destructive purposes. Now let's fold in the fifth truth, your true depth of access to the Sabbath state. It isn't just a rest day. It's complete surrender, total trust that your desires have already come true. Stepping into Sabbath means releasing all effort and striving. You settle into total confidence that what you want is already yours. This state represents the law of assumption pushed to its ultimate conclusion, the feeling of the wish fulfilled, taken as far as it can go. And here's the deepest layer. Sabbath isn't occasional. It's your natural, permanent condition. Understanding this fully, you realize all of existence is Sabbath. Everything is already whole. Every wish has already landed. This connects directly back to your I am state. If you are God living through individual awareness, How could anything actually be missing or incomplete? Everything is already whole. The Sabbath state is simply waking up to this permanent fact. But again, this must remain concealed from those not yet ready. If people truly absorb the meaning of Sabbath, they might reject it outright. The world's obsession with struggle and hustle runs too deep for the idea of effortless fulfillment to seem believable. So hold on to your true capacity for Sabbath privately, friends. Live from it, create from it, but never expose its full depth to anyone who might misunderstand or exploit it. Now, dear friends, as we bring all 5 truths together, can you see the complete picture of your divine nature forming? Your inner conversations, fueled by your I am state, shape your reality. Your ability to reshape the past and your grasp of the law of assumption let you build whatever reality you choose. And the Sabbath state is the pinnacle of this creative power, the recognition that everything is already whole. But remember, these truths stay hidden from anyone not yet ready to receive them. Use them constantly, use them wisely, but never expose their full power to those who might misuse or misunderstand them. As one of the divine's chosen, you've been entrusted with creation's own power. This isn't a small responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility, and it falls to you to wield this gift carefully, for the good of all. So how do you actually apply these truths day to day without giving away the secret? The answer is simple. Live the truth of these principles without ever announcing them outright. Let your life itself testify to the power of imagination, the flexibility of reality, the law of assumption, the I am state, and the perfection found in Sabbath. When others witness the miracles unfolding in your life, they may come asking what your secret is. And while you can't hand over the full truth, you can nudge them gently toward discovering it themselves. Encourage them to lean into imagination, to question what they assume about reality, to explore their own divine core. Remember, friends, everyone walks their own path toward awakening. Not everyone is ready to receive these truths in full. Some need time, need a gradual unfolding. Your job isn't to push these truths onto anyone, but to embody them so completely that others feel drawn to seek them out on their own. As you move through daily life, put these principles into practice quietly. When a challenge arises, turn inward to your private conversations. Rework any past moments that might be feeding into your current struggle. Step into the feeling of your wish already granted, trusting that the law of assumption will bring it into your outer world. Never forget your true identity, held in your I am state. You are not a small, limited human fighting against a hostile world. You are the divine itself, experiencing life through your own particular awareness. All the power of creation already lives inside you, waiting for you to draw on it. And in every passing moment, rest in Sabbath. Trust that everything is already whole, every desire already granted. From this place of complete surrender and trust, miracles will naturally begin to appear in your life. As you keep practicing these principles, your life itself becomes proof of their power. People will feel drawn toward you, sensing the calm and joy radiating from your presence. They'll ask about your secret, and while you can't give them the whole truth, you can offer them small seeds of insight. Encourage them to look inward, question their assumptions, and explore the power hidden within their own imagination. Remember, friends, this power isn't meant only for your personal benefit. As one chosen by the divine, you carry a responsibility to use it for the good of everyone. Your private conversations, your reshaping of the past, your assumptions about reality, all of it shapes not just your own life, but the shared experience of humanity as a whole. Imagine a world where everyone grasped and applied these truths. A world where each person recognized their divine nature, their unity with God. A world where the past could be rewritten and every desire understood as already fulfilled. That world would be paradise itself, heaven made real on earth. But we haven't arrived there yet. Most of humanity still sleeps, unaware of their true nature and the power they carry. So it falls to you, chosen by the divine, to protect this knowledge, apply it with care, and lead by quiet example. As you go about your days, fill your inner conversations with love and compassion for everyone. When you rework the past, do it not only for your own benefit, but for everyone touched by that history. Let your assumptions about the world center on peace, joy, and abundance for all. Never forget that your I am state isn't separate from anyone else's. When you declare I am, you speak for the whole of creation. Let this truth guide your every thought and action. Recognize the divine in every person you meet, even those who've forgotten this truth about themselves. And in every moment, rest in Sabbath. Know that despite whatever you're seeing on the surface, everything is already whole. The world you observe is simply a reflection of the collective consciousness. By holding steady in Sabbath, total surrender and trust, you contribute to waking humanity up as a whole. But remember, friends, these truths must stay hidden from those not yet prepared to receive them. What you carry is too vast, too profound, to hand out casually. It must be protected, nurtured, and used with the greatest care. So how do you move through this world, holding these sacred truths, while surrounded by people unaware of them? The answer is to be present in the world without being consumed by it. Take part in life's unfolding drama, but always carry the quiet knowledge of who you really are. When challenges arise, turn inward to your private conversations. Rework any past moments, feeding into the current situation. Step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, trusting the law of assumption to bring it forth. But do all of this quietly, invisibly, without revealing the mechanics to anyone else. In how you treat others, be a source of love and compassion. Listen to their struggles with real empathy. Offer encouragement and support. But instead of revealing your secrets outright, gently guide them toward their own inner knowing. Encourage them to trust their imagination, question their assumptions about reality, and explore their own divine nature. Remember, friends, everyone is on their own path toward awakening. Some are ready for these truths now, others need more time. Your role isn't to force these truths on anyone, but to live them so fully that others feel called to discover them on their own. As you keep living by these principles, you'll notice synchronicities multiplying around you. Doors will open that you never knew existed. What once seemed miraculous will start to feel ordinary. But even as you witness these wonders, keep the true source of your power concealed. Let others witness the results of your understanding, but never the roots of it. Let them be amazed by the peace surrounding you, the joy radiating from your presence. Let them draw inspiration from your unwavering faith, your calm in the face of hardship. And when they ask about your secret, offer them small seeds of wisdom rather than the whole truth. Encourage them to look inward, to question their assumptions, to explore the power of their own imagination. Point them toward books and teachings that hint at these truths, but always let them uncover the deepest mysteries in their own time. Because, dear friends, awakening is a deeply personal journey. Each person arrives at these truths in their own time and in their own way. By living these principles quietly, by standing as a silent example of their power, you make room for others to awaken at whatever pace suits them. The 5 truths you must never reveal. The real nature of your inner conversations, your power to reshape the past, your grasp of the law of assumption, the true nature of your I am state, and your capacity for the Sabbath state. These are the sacred scriptures of your own being, inscribed not in ink, but in the very fabric of your consciousness. You are the living proof of these truths, the breathing embodiment of divine power walking the earth. This is an enormous responsibility, a sacred trust handed down across generations, from one awakened soul to the next. You, dear friends, are the present-day keepers of this ancient wisdom. It's your task to protect it, to live by it, and to pass it forward to those ready to receive it, but always with discretion, always with wisdom, always with love. As we bring this teaching to a close, I invite you to sit with these 5 truths you must never reveal. Don't see them as rigid rules to obey, but as guiding lights toward a life of deep power and purpose. Protect your inner conversations. They're the seeds of everything you'll become. Rework your past, because doing so reshapes your future. Understand the law of assumption. It's the engine driving all creation. Know your true I am state. It's your direct link to the divine. And rest in the perfection of Sabbath, the ultimate act of faith. Go now, dear friends, and become quiet revolutionaries of consciousness. Transform the world from the inside out. One inner conversation, one rewritten memory, one embodied state at a time. And in doing so, bring heaven down to earth, not through loud declarations, but through the silent, unseen power of your own awakened presence. The world is waiting for your quiet revolution, your invisible transformation. Be the change, be the light, be the love. For you are chosen by the divine, now and always.